Have you ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels? Working harder and harder, but not really getting any closer to what actually matters to you? Well, today we are diving deep into Stephen Covey's masterpiece, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But let's get one thing straight. This isn't some simple self-help checklist. Nope. This is a whole philosophy, a powerful new operating system for your life that's designed to completely change the way you see everything. I mean, really think about that for a second. Are you climbing that ladder of success as fast as you can, only to get that sinking feeling in your stomach that it's leaning against the completely wrong wall? You're hitting your targets, you're getting things done, but there's still this little voice in the back of your head saying, something is just off. Does any of this sound familiar? Maybe you're crushing it at work, but your family life is feeling the strain. Or maybe you are constantly, relentlessly busy. Your calendar is a nightmare, but you never feel truly productive or at peace. Covey found that these are the deep, painful problems that those quick fix Band-Aid solutions just can't touch. You download a new productivity app, it works for a week, and then poof, you're right back where you started. But here's the big insight, the real aha moment. Being busy but not productive, feeling disconnected from the people you love, these aren't the actual problems. According to Covey, they're just the symptoms. The real cause is buried much, much deeper. You see, the real issue is our perspective, what Covey calls a paradigm. It's the mental map we're all using to navigate the world. And for so many of us, that map is just plain wrong. It's leading us completely astray. So what is a paradigm anyway? Think of it like a pair of glasses. It's the lens you see everything through. It's not reality itself, but your personal take on it. And this is so important because, as Covey famously said, the way we see the problem is the problem. Covey had this brilliant analogy for this. Okay, imagine you're in Chicago, but someone hands you a beautifully detailed, accurate map of Detroit. Now, you can try harder, you can run faster, you can have the most positive attitude in the world, but all that effort is only going to get you to the wrong place faster. The problem isn't your behavior, it's the fact that you're using the wrong map. This next story just perfectly captures what it feels like to have your map suddenly redrawn. Picture a huge battleship plowing through thick fog. The captain sees a light dead ahead. He gets on the radio, arrogant, demanding the other light change course. He pulls rank. I'm a captain, then I'm a battleship. But the final reply is simple, quiet, and changes everything. I'm a lighthouse. In that one single second, the captain's entire reality is shattered. That, right there, is a paradigm shift. And that story just nails Covey's point. Principles, things like integrity, fairness, human dignity, they are the lighthouses. They're objective reality. They are natural laws that just don't bend for anyone. We can't break these laws. We can only break ourselves against them. So an effective life is one where our personal map, our paradigm, actually lines up with where those lighthouses are. Okay, so if our map is wrong, how do we fix it? Covey says it takes a huge shift in how we think about success. We have to move from what he calls the personality ethic to the character ethic. It's all about shifting from the outside in to the inside out. So the past 100 years or so, our culture has been obsessed with the personality ethic. Public image, communication tricks, positive thinking. It's all about how you appear. But the character ethic is about who you are at your core. It's about your integrity, your values. Sure, the personality stuff might get you some short-term wins, but deep, lasting success, the kind built on trust, that only comes from the inside out. The thing is, you just can't fake character. Covey compared it to farming. You can't just cram for a harvest the night before, right? You have to plant the seed, you have to water it, you have to cultivate the soil. That hard work on the inside, that's the planting and nurturing. And it's the whole idea behind private victory precedes public victory. You absolutely have to master yourself first before you can ever hope to build effective relationships with others. And that, my friends, is exactly what the 7 habits are for. They aren't just some random collection of good ideas. No, they are a deeply integrated framework, a step-by-step path for building your character from the inside out. So, the whole framework follows this path called the maturity continuum. First up, you work on your private victory. That's mastering yourself using habits 1, 2, and 3. This is the journey from being dependent on others to being independent. But here's the key. Independence isn't the final destination.
From there, you achieve public victory, working effectively with others using habits 4, 5, and 6. That moves you to interdependence, which is a way more powerful and mature way to live. And that last habit, habit 7, that's all about renewal, keeping yourself sharp so the whole system keeps running smoothly.
Now, there is one master principle that weaves through all 7 of these habits. It's a concept that kind of ties the whole philosophy together. Covey calls it the P/PC balance, and the best way to explain it is with a really old fable.
You've probably heard this one. A poor farmer discovers his goose lays a solid gold egg every single day. He becomes unbelievably rich, but with the wealth comes impatience and greed. He thinks, why wait for one egg a day? So, to get all the eggs at once, he kills the goose, only to find it's completely empty. In one stupid, greedy moment, he loses everything. This story perfectly explains what true effectiveness is all about. P stands for production. Those are the golden eggs, the results you want. PC stands for production capability. That's the goose, the asset that actually produces those results. Real, lasting success means you have to constantly keep these 2 things in balance. Let's make this real. Look how this plays out in our actual lives. For your health, the golden egg is feeling great and having energy, but the goose is the consistent exercise and good nutrition that makes it happen. At work, the egg might be finishing a huge project, but the goose is your professional skill set, your training, and just getting enough rest. In a relationship, the egg is that feeling of being loved and understood, but the goose is all the time you spend really listening and building trust, day in and day out.
So here's the bottom line. If you only focus on getting the golden eggs, if you're always pushing for short-term results, burning yourself out to hit a deadline, or neglecting your relationships for a quick win, you will eventually destroy your ability to produce anything at all. You kill the goose. At their heart, the 7 habits are all about taking care of the goose. So, let's bring it all back to the beginning. If the way we see the problem really is the problem, then what's one area in your life right now, could be at work, at home, maybe inside yourself, where a total shift in your paradigm, a change in your map, could unlock absolutely everything?